for those who came on the 5th of May, I gave a talk entitled what the F***K is wrong with the game industry. I covered both. Similar here, but here side I actually cover a lot more on the global. Okay, who am I? Quick introduction. I'm BuZz. I'm the IGDA Malaysia chapter coordinator. I run the show for games. I'm a game programmer. I graduated from MMU. So I know MMU actually owns my IP as well. I work on my final project, MMU owns it as well. It's a typical practice, so I let it go. Okay, today's topic, because I covered the bad side of the game industry, thanks to Russ suggesting the idea because I did the slide like 1 hour before we start. What is F***King awesome with the game industry? So there are good parts of the game industry that come together with the bad side. So today I'm just going to concentrate on the good side of it. So the first one, before I start, this is personal opinion, disclaimer as always, try to avoid any legal lawsuit or whatnot. Okay, the best thing for me that has happened in the last few years is digital distribution. This basically break the barrier of everybody have to do retail shelf box product, and this helped a lot in terms of reaching out the consumer. Because back then, to actually sell a game, you have to have the regions. I mean, back in the old days, the North American region does not run on your Asian console, right? So this kind of problem of regions actually hinder us a lot. You have to get publishing right, the distributor right, on different regions. You have to find a shop where to sell it. Is it Walmart? Is it going to be GameStop or whatnot? But here, now we have Steam, App Store, Big Fish Games, Impulse, Amazon App Store, and tons more. I mean, tons more. So it actually helps us to actually ship our product. There are a lot of revenues, but some are good, some are bad. So you need to pick wisely. Depends on what type of product. I mean, if I'm doing a hardcore zombie game, I mean, full gore and blood, I probably will not go for Big Fish Games. Because the one that is on Big Fish Games are aunties, 35 years old, soccer mom. That's fact. That's statistic. Okay? So the next good thing that we have is actually microtransaction, premium, downloadable content, like the motivational picture we have, microtransactions. Just because buying the game is never enough. I'm not sure which game it came from.
Oblivion, Horse Armor Pack.
Huh?
That's the Horse Armor Pack from Oblivion.
Oblivion, okay. I'm not sure which game, but yeah, it looks like Oblivion. Yeah. So, I mean, people buy this kind of stuff. And surprisingly, a lot of games that the one of the mechanics is microtransaction, they actually make a lot of money by selling stuff. Some of the MMO guys can share with you a lot on the details. Free and cheap tools and tech. So this is the other one. Unity is free, except for the Pro extra features, which is very crucial as well. So you use it for free until you need to use it, then you buy the license, which is not that expensive. I mean, it's not that cheap, but it's not that expensive. UDK is totally free until you ship your game, made more than 50k. Is it now? Yeah. I think it's 50k. Then they'll charge 25%. Before that, if you only sell 49,000 USD revenue, it's all yours. They're not going to take any single cent from you, even though you use their $1 million technology. Awesome stuff. We have Flash Develop, which basically helps you to develop stuff for Flash. It's free, right, Alex? Yeah. We also have XNA by Microsoft, which basically helps you to develop games that is portable to Xbox 360. So that actually helps as well. It's free as well. On the 4th version now. Open source software. Okay, this is the other one. I mean, what's the cost of license for 3D Studio Max and Photoshop? Thousands of dollars. So Gym is a Photoshop clone. That's not so much Photoshop, but it's Gym. That's free. It's a 2D image editing software. Then we have Blender. I mean, we have Blender user here. Sure, Yap went back already. Okay, this one. Huh? Yeah, we went back already. So Yap from Liquid War Games, who presented last May, actually used this for their game. So you can actually do 3D stuff in free software. Just to meddle around with it. We have Augur, which is a 3D rendering engine, which is also open source. What's the good part about open source is that I was told by a strong advocate of open source, my senior, that as long the community grows, nothing will stop it. I mean, let's say the key developers decided not to continue it. If you have a strong community, the strong community will just continue because the source is available. They can continue to make a branch of it, call it something else, and just continue developing. The license allows it to be done so. Okay. The new things that are happening in innovative hardware, we have Kinect recently, we have Move, I couldn't find the Move picture. And then we have the latest one, Wii U, where you play on your own screen, and then you have the big screen up there. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but Ubisoft are jumping into it, and a lot of big companies are working on it.
So basically it's DS where your TV is a separate screen.
Kind of, that's what they say. We'll see. Okay, the best part as well, the one that inspired me a lot, especially for young developers who are passionate to make their best game the first try. Yeah. So Indian Revolution, like these guys in South Park, they're actually trying hard to play a game instead of make a game. So that's what we do. Battle coders stay in like those over Mountain Dew and all that. So that's a good thing. Have you guys heard of World of Goo? What else? Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy, Final Physics Deluxe, Aquaria. So many indie developers, they're actually coming up, and the platform enables them to do so now. Okay, new animating platform on market. We have Facebook as technically one of the latest recent 2 years ago, and upcoming we probably have Google Games. So we're not sure. So this is what I'm saying, that we have platforms that defines a certain type of market. Like Facebook, they are defined by the social games, the Farmville kind of game, or the other type of game that can actually work well in social network. Okay, so this is the avenues for developers to tap in, because not everybody have to do a console game. You probably want, but you can start with this first. Also related to that, the social and casual game. One of the big things that has happened back then, actually it's like 7 years ago, where there's a huge shift from the core gamers or the hardcore gamers, where the guys who spend 49 USD buying one single game and play it for the next 10 years, like StarCraft, right? Before they reach StarCraft 2 or Diablo, people still playing it, Diablo 2. So those are hardcores. But now we have our cousin, female gamers coming in. Then they probably play Angry Birds better than you, and they probably have bigger farm bill than you. Right? This is new defined market. I did not quote Wii. We would like to thank Wii as well for that. Nintendo console that actually helps to open up a new market or demographics of gamer through socials and casual games. Okay, we also have serious game. I think it's a great thing to happen. For those who do not know serious game, it is basically a game that means the intention of making it is not just for fun. It's not just pure entertainment. It serves another purpose. It could be education, it could be medical, it could be military, it could be simulation, it could be training, it could be anything. And there's a huge market and potential for this. It's huge money. Anybody heard of America's Army? Yeah. America's Army is the first really good example of serious game. I mean, American Army actually pays the developer, which is for it. So IGDA is having their own initiative to quality of life effort.
Years before that, there was EA Spouse.
I mean, that's years before that, yeah. That's 10 years before. EA has improved now, so to say. I mean, Activision is the new bad guy, right?
EA and Steam got better now.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, foreign direct investment. This is what's happening in Malaysia. Not just Malaysia, actually. Southeast Asia, there's a huge interest to actually develop games here. Why? I'll name 2 reasons. The first one will probably be cost. Second is talent. So talent, there's a talent pool here, maybe not that great, but there's enough to actually kickstart a small industry. So Ubisoft is in Singapore. Codemasters, you guys know, came like 7 years ago in Malaysia. Streamline came down 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. So there's a lot of foreign direct investment that people are coming down here, setting up studios, hiring locals, training them. building them to make games. So that's what we have now in Malaysia and also South Asia. There's also, we have to fight with China. The good part about, for us, I mean, China has 1.3 billion people, right? That's kind of, can't fight with them. So it's endless fight. But what we have here, probably the mix of culture. The government is not oppressive. We can go google.com, facebook.com, like that. So, right, there are things that we can do here that they can't do that. So, thanks to that, it actually helps the companies to actually came down here. I mean, if you're going to make a Facebook game, obviously you can't open a company in China, right? You can't open in Shanghai. I mean, I can't connect to Facebook. How am I going to make a game on it? So, that helps. Thank you, China. Okay, lastly, I'll just talk about the online resources. I mean, one of the things that is the biggest benefit and the biggest problem as well is that it's so easy to learn now in the sense of resources. I still remember quoting my lecturers when we were studying in the 70s. You have to like go to a library which is like 10 kilometers away from where you stay and borrow a book for 1 week or 1 month and return it to be able to learn something. Back when the internet was expensive. So now, with broadband and everything, I mean, resources online available for free. A lot of stuff. On YouTube, you can just Google 3D Max tutorial, UDK tutorial, XNA codes sample. Whatever it is, you can get help online. The sad part is that that's what disables us as well. But there's so many resources online, like, okay, there's so much thing like Joe mentioned it. When you're given too much power, you are overwhelmed by the power. So I'll suggest take one step at a time. Pick your tools, pick your field that you want to go. And the other one is that it's good if you have people who actually use the tool. Let's say anybody here want to jump in Blender. Go to the Blender user group, find them there. Anybody want to do Unity games? There are Unity user group as well. So you can go there and talk to them, what they have done, see what they have made. IPCC winners, one of them, team Poco Chirocco, she made their games on Unity. It's on Congregate now, playable for free. So there are things that have been made in Malaysia. So the other things that we have to share, be open about what we're doing, even if it's a failure. I mean, I invited Batal Sarawak not because they did really a good job. I mean, their game probably crap compared to what industry have made. Because the amount of money that they pour in, the hours, and all that. But the idea is to be open up and to be able to share whatever you did. Even if it's a crappy single character jumping game. I mean, Joe did a game just now. It's a jumping game on a platform. I mean, share with people. I mean, it's a step forward. The one thing that I learned about the game industry is that, game development especially, is that your first game is going to be crappier than your second game. Your third game is going to be better than your second game. As you keep doing games, making games, your craft become better. It's like making swords. You become a blacksmith, you make swords. Your first one not going to be Excalibur. But by the time you reach 1,000 swords, it's probably going to be as good as Excalibur. So that's the idea. The other word that I will leave today with is game development. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. As long as you stay and continue fight, you'll probably get there. To side with that, anybody knows Cliffy B? Yeah. The game designer for Gears of War? Yeah. I mean, first time when I heard his name and saw his interview, I'm like, who is that dude? I mean, he looked young, apparently, and I thought that, okay, that dude just become popular, got a job, and then make Gears of War. Little did I know that he's the guy who made
Just Jet Rabbit.
Just Jet Rabbit, which a game that I played in the 80s and 90s, so much that I didn't know that he actually made that. That was 20 years before he made Gears of War. So he kept making games until one day he made Gears of War. So that's the marathon that I'm talking about. With that, I end the talk. Let's mingle around and chat. Thank you.